Yeah, I think just how hard they play as a unit. That's a group. Coach Hayes has always done a phenomenal job schematically, with technique, with fundamentals. They make you earn every inch you get, and that's been the challenge. They turn people over. They're always one of the top in the country in turnover margin, and they're always where they're supposed to be, and they're playing hard, and they're pursuing the football. And I think as a group, that's what stands out to you.
When you watch Delton and Hurts, are they similar type of quarterbacks, or do you have to plan for both of them kind of differently just in case Hurts?
Yeah, they both run the offense efficiently. Both good runners, both can make the passes, but not much seems to change. Whoever they put in there last week when they got to their third-team quarterback, I mean, they still ran the offense efficiently, and that's a credit to their coaching staff and to those guys being ready. Whoever they put behind center seems to be able to make plays for them.
Is that quarterback run game that they've used so much in the past, does it still look similar to what it has?
Yeah, it does. It does. They do a good job of each week having a new wrinkle on that, scheming you up, trying to get an extra hat in the run game by having that guy keep it, and they've been effective again this year at it.
As far as their defense, Coach, I guess anything that kind of stood out to you in terms of their defensive line with the linebackers from last year?
Yeah, I mean, their D-line plays hard. Geary, number 60, seems like he's been there for 8 years. I mean, he's given us headaches since he's been there. High motor, very strong down in there, and they invite you to run the ball with numbers in the box, but they do a good job of being stout and not allowing you to do it.
Kind of over the last few weeks, how have you kind of seen Jack Anderson really develop? It seems like he's finally found himself, right?
Yeah, I think just growing up, being a true freshman, getting thrown in there, you're always going to have growing pains, but he's more comfortable. I think he understands our system. Understands, the technique, the fundamentals that are involved to play at this level. You can't just overpower people every snap, and all that is, just coming along. But he's definitely made big strides.
You guys didn't make the trip last week, or they going to be playing this weekend?
We'll see. Kind of going through the week to see how that all goes, and it'll be an end of the week decision.
Anything Dylan did moving over?
I thought he handled himself well. That's not an easy transition. He'd been on that right side a bunch, and so coming out of your cuts, getting out of your breaks, catching the ball over a different shoulder is a bit of an adjustment, but I thought he handled himself well. He played hard and had some nice plays.
How about Basher on the other side? I mean, 3 or 4 catches. I mean, other than big plays, he seemed to be more involved in the offense.
Yeah, we're trying to get him going. We felt like he's progressed nicely, and felt like that was a good week to try and get him more involved, and we'll continue to push him out there more and try to get him as many touches as we can.
So what times that he got the ball, it came to him in bursts, so to speak, for a good portion of the game early. He wasn't really thrown to, and then went to him 3 times in a row, and then a couple of passes again at the end. Was that kind of by design, or is that just how it happened?
Yeah, just more how it happened, more the looks we were getting, and it was, when he got some single coverage, we tried to take advantage of it.
Besides being obviously the height and the physical skills that you want, what else have you seen in him over the last year that you kind of like or feel like is a good asset?
Yeah, I think maturity has come a long way since he first got here, and then his just love of the game. He's a guy who shows up every day smiling. Whether he's playing, getting the football, not getting the football, he's into it, he's happy, he's working at his craft, and that goes a long way with his coaches when you have a guy like that, regardless of the ball's coming his way or not. He's playing hard, and he's into it, and he's trying to get better.
How did you go about the maturity issue? Because I remember last year, early or a month or 6 weeks into the season, you were talking about how he needed to grow up, so to speak. How did you all go about it?
Yeah, I mean, he just, just as you grow up, you grow up. But Coach Jones has done a nice job with him being a mentor and talking him through some things. And I think, TJ's a guy when he wasn't playing and he was redshirting, that was tough for him because it was probably the first time since he was about 4 years old that he wasn't a starter or wasn't playing. And I think we just had to go through that, but he's really come a long way.
Did Trey kind of show you on Saturday that he can kind of take over as getting the majority of the carries as Justin kind of recovers from that head injury?
Yeah, I think he did a nice job. We'd like to have that 1-2 punch so you don't wear one guy out. But I thought he ran tough. That's a physical defense he was playing against. He finished runs, and we have a lot of faith that he can get the job done.
It seems like one of the times when your offense is struggling, Nick's rolling out to the right on a pass attempt and ends up either throwing it away or gets caught. Is he doing that too much? Instead of stepping up in the pocket? Is that something you're working on with him rolling out to the right? What's the process there?
Yeah, I think, like I said all along, it's just continuing to get comfortable. The more games he plays, the better he's going to get. And there's times where we'd like him to stay in there more, and he's getting out and trying to make a play. So there's that happy medium, knowing the battle's over, and we can't take some of those sacks that we're taking, no question. We got to stay out of those second and third and longs, and we'll continue to work at that and harp on that. And I expect him to play his best these last 4 weeks.
Fully realizing that Pat was a special talent, does your offense run better with a more mobile, like script-wise, run better with a more mobile quarterback?
I think if you have a dynamic athlete like Pat, particularly on third downs, I think we led the country when he was a starter in third downs. It helps to have a guy who can get it with his feet or his arm. So I think, if you have a guy that can do it all, that's what you want. Those guys are hard to find. And Nick does a good job extending plays, moving around. But if you have one that can really run and throw consistently, yeah, that's a tough combination.
With the success you had with Dylan on one side and TJ on the other side, is that something that you're feeling like implementing could be something that could help you all kind of in the future, especially with the way that it kind of spread out the defense and helped the run game a little bit?
I hope so. I think those two guys, we know what we're going to get every week consistently at practice, in the games. They're going to block their tails off and be where they ought to be and go up and attempt to make plays on the ball when it's in the air. And that's something that we trust as coaches, and I know our quarterback trusts that.
The other night when you had Nelson and Bama sort of suited up, was that primarily just an emergency since you had Nick McCann up there?
It was, and kind of a reward for his work. And he's another guy who's really come a long way since he's been here and growing up and getting bigger and stronger and practicing better, and has done a nice job on scout team, really giving us a look, and just wanted to reward him with that trip.
So you're not necessarily looking to play him?
No, not unless something drastic happened.
What is McCann's status?
Hopefully we can get him back this week. We should know something by Thursday, but I'm hoping he can play.
What about with Stockton and Reed?
Reed is a no, and Justin will be later in the week as well.
They have a guy like Jay Sean who's going to come back in that second half. How do you keep him kind of warm and ready to go when he's just kind of sitting on the sidelines for the whole half?
Yeah, that's something that's going to be a lot of, up to him, because he won't be on the sideline. He'll be inside and have to stay locked in and focused and keep himself warm and into it. And for us as coaches, it's more a concern during the week of practice. He won't get as many practice reps, so he's a team captain. He's got to be vocal. He's got to help some of those younger players that are going to be replacing him and really stay locked in and focused the entire week. And so that's been our emphasis with him is all week, hey, we need you to be locked in, be focused, and help these young guys.
With the way he's played the last few games, do you feel like Justice is someone that can kind of step up in that situation where, like you said, you're not going to have Deshaun that first half?
Yeah, we'll see. We hope so. I mean, we've all been excited about Justice's progress from the beginning of the year till now, and it'll probably be more of a committee deal until we get Jay Sean back.
Is Hatfield expected to practice and possibly play?
Possibly. I would say it's about 50-50 at this point. We're hoping that the week goes well and that we can get him back, and that would be obviously a big boost for our special teams.
So is he kicking in practice now or planning to kick?
We'll see today. Yeah, we'll see today. We didn't practice yesterday, so we'll see today how he feels and take it from there. But we do hope that he can practice this week.
Does Nick excel better when you're on rhythm? When it's not necessarily two, 3 or 4 reads, it's you kind of know where he's going as soon as he gets up to the line?
I'm not sure if he excels. I mean, he's a very talented, accurate thrower of the football. I think, like I've said all along, he's now started 8 games in his college football career. It's just that comfort level of consistently being in those situations, being in those moments, being in adverse situations, still being able to keep your technique, your fundamentals, your mechanics together when the live bullets are flying and when it's not perfect. And I think that's something we'll just continue to get better at as the season goes on.
With him being in that rhythm, though, can that be counterintuitive to helping your defense out when they get a long drive and immediately it's a 3 and out and 15 seconds have gone off the clock?
Yeah, I mean, nobody wants to do that, no question. So you try to mix in some run plays and do different things to make sure that doesn't happen, but that's not always the case.
What are your expectations for Clayton Hatfield when he does get back, just because he's had so much downtime?
Yeah, I mean, he's been a solid, accurate kicker for us for a few years, so I expect him to operate at a high level, and we'll try to take any other kick besides extra points and field goals off of his leg, which should keep him fresh. But we expect him to kick well if he plays.
Last couple of weeks, Alex Barnes for K-State's going over 100 yards, I believe. Looks like he's maybe in the best little stretch of his season. What style of back is he, or how is he being effective?
Yeah, he's one of those strong runners, similar to the Montgomery at Iowa State. Hard to bring down, low to the ground, physical. So you got to gang tackle, and he's really kind of hit his stride, like you said, and is playing at a high level.
With an offense like that seems, I guess, from afar so much like they just kind of run it up the middle and it's all about patience. But what makes stopping something like that so difficult?
Yeah, I think more than anything, they're so well coached, and schematically they get into the right play. Whatever front you're in, whatever defense you're in, they're going to check to the sideline and make sure they're in the right play to attack it. And that's a challenge as a defense, because that means you got to win your one-on-one battles, because they're going to have a guy for a guy, and you got to defeat your blocker and get the guy down.
If among the players showed this year that we have not seen, who has been best on scout team, or given your ones and twos the most irritation or aggravation?
Yeah, I think one that jumps out is Adrian Fry, who's a cornerback for us, and he's really done a nice job. Practice really well, practices hard, loves the game. So that's who I get to see most of the time when I'm with the offense, and he's done a good job, has a bright future.
Coach, going into this game, the past of your schedule in the Big 12, I think there's a combined 14 losses in those group, with Kansas having 7 of them. You got the second half of the league coming up, where only TCU is really the one dominant team on the schedule with regards to their record. Does that help your guys know that they can still play for something? You might get the Big 12 title, but they can still have a lot of success this year, knowing who you got coming up?
Yeah, I think more than anything, just it's more about us and them knowing how good we can be, regardless of opponent. Like I've said all along, I feel like we've had great stretches, but haven't played complete games, and that's something that we've focused on this last month of the season, and our guys are excited to see if we can put those together. We know every week in this league it's a challenge. You can see that with the scores across the league. It's a lot of parity this year, and so we just are really focused on us.
2 more.
Have you found a reason why y'all had a hard time completing games?
No, still working through that. Still trying to figure that kind of the $1 million question: why we can have these stretches where we're dominant and then play poorly at times. And so that's been a focus. Will continue to be a focus this last stretch.
Anything else?
We've asked you about him several times before, but Derek Willis, what is your expectation for him the last month with the way the last 6 weeks has gone?
Yeah, we'll see. Just kind of taking it day to day. Very talented. We just got to get some things worked out and see if we can maximize that talent, close out this season.
I think just staying consistent. We started really good, obviously, there in the first quarter, and we just need to be able to sustain that level of play throughout the entire game.
Did you just feel a shift as the game went on? Did they do something different defensively? What kind of changed?
Yeah, they started mixing it up, but a lot of it was on us. Our execution. We were playing hard. It was just we started mis-executing a few things. And like I said, that goes back to just being consistent from the first snap to the last snap, playing with the same attention to detail. And, I think we'd have put ourselves in a position to win that game if we'd have done that. But, you can't dwell on it, so moving on to Kansas State.
Nick, would you say you're a rhythm thrower that you like to, on like an internal clock, like it's snap, catch, throw immediately?
Yeah, it just depends on the play call, really. But yeah, I do like to get in a rhythm. Yeah, you could say that.
When the offense has Dylan on one side and TJ on the other side, how do you kind of see that helping you all?
Yeah, those, two big guys. Anytime they're one-on-one, I'm going to take a shot. So, TJ is big and long, 6'5", 6'6", can jump. So I feel good about, and obviously Dylan has incredible ball skills. So I feel good about either one of those guys going up and making a play and coming down with it. So.
Touchdown pass to Dylan. Him and Cameron were both kind of in that same general area. You were throwing it to Dylan.
Yes. Yeah.
I think they were saying how it could have been for Cameron or Dylan, either one.
Yeah. No, it was for Dylan.
What do you know about the Kansas State defense?
He has those guys ready to play, and they play hard, and they execute. They're where they're supposed to be at the right time. They don't do a lot of fancy stuff or try to trick you or anything like that. They're just going to line up, play tough. That's how they are every year, and they're very good at what they do.
In terms of the way Trey played last weekend against OU, I guess you kind of feel like he kind of made a statement saying that I should probably get some more carries. I guess how did you kind of see his performance?
I thought he played great. He's just a really good football player. He's got high football IQ. He runs really hard. And obviously getting Stock back this week, it'll be good to have both those guys back there to be able to give each other a little break every now and then.
Is that something where you see the practice performance kind of go to the game, or did you kind of see something before that you kind of knew a big game was coming out of it?
I've thought since fall camp, since the very first time I saw him play, that he was capable of it. And then obviously this past Saturday was kind of his coming out party, if you will. So I was happy to see that for him.
How would you describe his personality and demeanor?
Personality. He's a funny guy. He's a goofy guy, but whenever we get out there to practice, he's locked in. Like I said, he sees the play one time. He's got a really high football IQ. It seems like he just absorbs all the knowledge that the coaches are throwing at him. So, like I said, he can do it and walk through one time, and from there on out, he knows exactly what he's supposed to do. It's not taking reps and reps and reps for him to be able to get it down mentally. But yeah, he's a great football player. Glad to have him over here.
Nick, I know that the coaches are working with you guys on this, but why do you personally think that you guys are having a problem finishing games?
I think, alluding to what I said previously, consistency. I know me personally, I start the game. It seems like every game I start, completing almost every pass, 7 for 8, 9 for 10, whatever the case may be. And then I don't know if I get lax or what, but I think I just need to be dialed in for 4 quarters. And in a sense, you could probably say that for the whole team. We just got to be paying attention to the same detail, like I said, on play 1 as we are on play 100. So we'll work on that this week.
Nick, has Jack Anderson been asking for more targets Curious catch against Oklahoma.
No, I've never seen that happen actually. I'm glad he caught it. A lot of those times, the defensive lineman is one that comes down with it. Those deflected passes. So I'm glad it was one of my guys that caught it. He kind of pushed the pile a little bit too, didn't he?
Nick, I guess in terms of TJ, I know last year Coach always talks about the attitude issues. I guess how have you kind of seen him transform from last year to this year, especially like Coach said, it was probably the first time he probably had to work for playing time. Have you kind of seen that help him going into now?
I think a big thing about TJ is even when he wasn't playing at the very beginning of the year, he was always saying at practice, like he's not mad at practice, he's not upset at practice because he didn't get any targets. He's always saying like he knows his time is coming, whether it's this year, next year. He knows the potential that he has, and he has the ability to be great. So he knew eventually it would happen. So it was good seeing him not be selfish, not, like I said, not be mad because he wasn't getting the ball, or because he's good enough. But yeah, he knew his time was coming, and then obviously the last couple games, he's kind of stepped up and made some plays for us. So just got to keep finding ways to get him involved.
Nick, your early part of the Big 12 schedule, take away Kansas, they have combined 7 losses. The rest of the way, it's like 17 with TCU just having the 1. While you can't win the Big 12, is it helpful knowing that if you guys play right and do what you're supposed to be doing, that you can still have a successful season here?
Yeah. I think we can win the rest of our games. And that just, if we come out to practice and, like I said, fix the things that we need to get fixed, the consistency, the attention to detail for 4 quarters, if we can buckle down and figure those things out, I don't see why we can't beat any of these teams that we have left on our schedule. But it's not going to be easy. They're quality teams. We still have to bring it every day, but I'm confident in what we can do.
How important is making the bowl game your senior year?
That's what you play for. The goal at the beginning of the season is obviously to get to the postseason. That's what we're going for. We got to take it one game at a time. With that said, we can't worry about what bowl or when it's going to be or whatever. We got to attack Tuesday's practice for Kansas State, and tomorrow go at Wednesday's practice and take it day by day and keep getting better, and I think everything will work out.
Nick, you had that touchdown throw to Cam that he kind of bobbled and was able to bring in. What was going through your head when that happened?
Yeah, I thought he dropped it because I just saw it tip up into the air, and then I saw him tip it again. And from my angle, it looked like he tipped it too far. So I look at Coach Kingsbury, and I'm like, what's the play? Give me the play. And he's like, he caught it. And I'm like, I didn't know we had a signal like this for a play. So I'm like asking him what the play was. He's like, no, he caught it. So I look back, and, of course, they had their hands up. So, it was a great catch by him, great concentration. I told him as soon as he came off the field, that was, like I said, I thought he dropped it, but for him to somehow be able to come up with that football, it was pretty incredible. So, great play by him.
2 more. Anything else?
What's been the biggest challenge for you so far, just overall, as quarterback?
Probably going back to what I've said 3 or 4 times already, being consistent, starting the game so hot, and then kind of hitting a little, running into some miscues, I guess, and then I just need to be able to regroup, get back on track, and I've done it in past games Just need to do it probably more consistently.
There's been twice, that one, and what is it? I think it was Iowa State. I don't know what game it was, but I thought about it. It's kind of cool seeing Jack do that, but maybe I'll have my moment one of these games.
Has he been asking for more targets this week in practice?
He hasn't said much, but I know he does. I know deep down he wants it. Maybe he'll go line up out receiver some this week. Who knows?
What's challenging about this Kansas State defensive front?
Just playing them last year. I mean, I know what they're about. They're they're tough. They're disciplined. They're physical. I mean, me and number 60, number 99, we went at it last year. So I know what they're about. I think they're a good front. But yeah, I just think their toughness and their discipline is what really sticks out.
At first possession against Oklahoma, when you almost seem to run it down their throats, what went well? What went so well on that?
I think just playing as an O-line, playing as a unit. We're all five were targeted right. We're playing physical. We came out with good energy. And then, I mean, Trey King, he helped us out a lot. He's a great running back. Just the things he was able to do really helps us as an O-line.
They shifted to a four-man front later in the game, and you didn't have much success running. What happened there?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the plan was just to run it as much as possible. They had to get out of that look, that three-down look that they were doing. So yeah, the four was to stop the run. I think we were targeted right at times. I think coming out we didn't have as much energy, at least as a group, and that's on me being a leader. So, I mean, going forward, these last four games is something I personally have to work on. But yeah, I mean, they're a good team. They're a good front. I mean, they made the plays when they had to, and yeah, they slowed down the run.
I know coaches are working with you guys on finishing games.
Mm-hmm.
What do you personally think you guys are having such a struggle in doing it?
I mean, I guess that's the big question. Really, I mean, we do definitely come out strong. I feel like, I guess as a unit, I mean, it's really just having that mentality to really finish a game. But I mean, that's easier said than done. But I mean, that's something we have worked on. But really, I guess it just comes down to execution. That's something Coach Kingsbury has been talking about. Our O-line coach has been talking about. I mean, our defense gives us opportunities. I mean, as much as possible. I mean, it's really just up to us to capitalize. But I mean, it just really comes down to execution.
I know sometimes his success is kind of based on how you guys are playing. So I guess what have you seen from Trey King that allowed him to have his game last weekend?
I mean, the way he approaches things, his mindset towards the game. I mean, coming from JUCO and the things he's came from, he's got a drive. I mean, you could look at the look in his eye. I mean, it's going to take a lot to stop him running. I mean, that just, like I said before, that makes the O-line job a lot easier. But at least in the run game, for the most part, I mean, we were targeted right. He ran as hard as I've ever seen a running back run. So that's really all you could ask for.
I know you mentioned the JUCO route. I guess, do you feel like there was an adjustment period for him, or was it a matter of just him getting his spot and he finally kind of took advantage of it?
I mean, at least me personally, I went the JUCO route too. I definitely had a learning curve I had to go through, just learning the offense and kind of learning the new speed of the game, because obviously at this level it definitely changes. I haven't talked to him about that. I mean, I guess you could say that coming in from junior college and just getting adjusted to the Division I life of a student athlete, and then football itself can be a lot. But yeah, I mean, right now, I mean, I think he's embraced all that and is doing a great job.
Is this the point in the season where the offensive line is kind of gelling together? Or when it comes to like the season, the O-line, at what point are you still kind of trying to figure it out? And do you notice by a certain game every year you kind of figure it out?
I mean, as a unit, I mean, we're always hanging out with each other. We're doing everything together. So, I mean, the chemistry is there. I think we're gelling right. We're communicating properly. I think that was an issue the first few games. But, I mean, these past few games, you can tell that at least my personal opinion, you could tell that things have gone a lot smoother. You can tell that we want to win, we want to be physical. Just the traits you want to see in an O-line. I think that's something that we've had and we've developed over these few games, especially playing with some young guys. But I mean, overall, I think we've definitely gelled through camp and these first few games. I think we made huge improvements, and going forward with these last 4 games, I think we should do some really good things.
For the first part of Big 12 play, your opponents have a combined 14 losses. Take away 7 of those for Kansas. That's basically one loss a team. When you look at the rest of your schedule, they're 17 combined. TCU just has 1 loss. Does it help knowing that you have that kind of schedule in front of you with what you faced ahead of time, knowing that you might not be able to win the Big 12, but you can still have a successful season?
Yeah, I mean, you can't really overlook any team in the Big 12. Every team can sneak up on you. I mean, every team's beatable, but at the same time, you can get beat by every team. In a way, it is nice going that we've played some really, really good teams, gone against some really good defenses, some good players. That's a good confidence boost going into these next 4 games. But while we can win all these next 4 games, at the same time, you can't overlook them because they're very well coached. They have very good players. But I mean, just playing the teams we've played, really, I feel like it's a confidence boost to us.
What would making a ball game mean to you personally this year?
I mean, I think it would be awesome. I mean, we've worked really hard as a team, as an O-line. Me personally, I've worked hard in trying to perfect my craft and things like that. But I think it'd mean a lot. Obviously, some games didn't go the way that we'd want them to, but I mean, making a bowl game would be huge.
You get a chance to see Jack's catch. What were your thoughts on that?
I was right there. I was thinking about catching it, but it just landed right in his hands. So I just turned around and pushed the pile as much as I could. I think he got like 2 or 3 yards, but that was really cool. I didn't think he expected it. He said he just looked down and it was there. Really? No. It was Nick. It was mostly Nick. I'll give him the credit.
Well, you mentioned a moment ago that you and number 16, number 9 out of Penn State went at it last year. Will Geary, number 16.
Yeah.
The guy's been all Big 12 a couple of times. What makes him so good? I think he has a really good mindset in playing D-line and playing in the trenches, you could say. I think he's really, really disciplined. He's a really strong player. But yeah, I think the things he does definitely doesn't get unnoticed, obviously. But I think having them on their team, for them, it's just, I think he's a good player to have, a good, reliable player. He seems to be very consistent in the run game, as well in the pass game. So I think that's why he has the accolades he has.
Anything else?
Oh, geez. I haven't thought about this. I was thinking about candy. That's about it. I don't know. I don't have any costumes, really.
What did you go as? What was your favorite costume growing up?
Oh, gosh. I was a whoopee cushion one year. I think that was probably the best one.